Greta Gerwig's solo directorial debut Lady Bird received all sorts of attention in 2018, for beating Toy Story 2's Rotten Tomatoes record of most fresh reviews to winning Best Motion Picture at the Golden Globes. So, what is so special about Lady Bird? Lady Bird is a coming-of-age story that, unlike countless other movies made about high school, feels completely real. Christine McPherson, better known as Lady Bird, is a 17-year-old high school senior who yearns to escape her boring hometown of Sacramento and start a new life in the East Coast. From applying to colleges to experimenting with friends and love, Lady Bird manages to capture all the highs and lows of growing up in an authentic and vulnerable way.
Schools like Yale, but not Yale because I probably couldn't get in.
You definitely couldn't get in.
However, this movie is not your typical rom-com. In fact, the biggest twist is that the film is actually a love letter dedicated to her mother. Like most teens, Lady Bird and Mother Marion have a complicated love-hate relationship.
Why didn't you just say pick up your feet?
I didn't know if you were
You
tired.
were being passive-aggressive.
No, I wasn't.
You are so infuriating.
Please stop yelling.
I'm not yelling. Oh, it's
Honey,
perfect.
Do you love it?
One of the most powerful messages of the film is the idea of love and attention. The idea that love is a form of attention which is not always easy or enjoyable.
Don't you think maybe they are the same thing? Love and attention?
Lady Bird feels as if her mother gives her too much attention, but it's how her mother shows her love for her daughter. When Lady Bird leaves her best friend to hang out with more popular and rich kids, the emphasis is once again on attention. Her new friends barely pay attention or care about her, and neither does her new boyfriend. Every interaction that Lady Bird has, from her teachers to her friends to love interests, was directly influenced by her relationship with her mother. The biggest takeaway is that growing up isn't so much about moving away from your parents, but learning to understand them. Not being so self-absorbed to realize that our parents are allowed to also sometimes be selfish and moody, because after all, they have given up so much to raise us and are human too. A message that young audiences everywhere can relate to. Most of all, this movie is a reminder that we don't truly appreciate home and the people in our lives until we leave them, and one person's coming of age is just as much another person's letting go. Another aspect that makes this film so revolutionary and intriguing is that it emphasizes Lady Bird's female relationships as much, if not more, as her relationship with guys. It's not the first time that a movie follows female friendships and relationships, but it's certainly unique to see them treated with the same respect and attention as traditional romantic relationships. The two most romantic moments in the film occur between Lady Bird and her mom and Lady Bird and her best friend Julie, something that is very unique for a mainstream movie. Usually, female teenage stories are focused around boys, but in Lady Bird, although her love interests teach her a lot, it's the moment when Lady Bird shows up at Julie's house for prom that really feels like the romantic gesture that would be made in a film between a guy and a girl. And also when her mother races to the airport amidst a fight to try and apologize to her daughter before she leaves for college. These scenes feel like the big romantic gesture that come at the end of a typical rom-com. The fact that the two most touching gestures of this movie occur between women speaks volumes and is something that is simultaneously revolutionary and beautiful. Additionally, Saoirse Ronan, the actress that plays main character Lady Bird, chose to shoot the movie without makeup, revealing all her acne and skin blemishes in the process. Many TV shows and movies with teens are played by 30-year-old actors with flawless skin and a face full of makeup, an over-idealization that is the source of insecurities for many teens. By representing real-life teenagers and not the over-romanticized version, Lady Bird shows young viewers, especially those that struggle with acne, that it is okay to embrace their imperfections. This is incredibly important in the film industry and brings up the issue of representation, having teens see the real versions of themselves, acne and warts and all. It teaches them that life goes on whether you have clear skin or not, and we don't need to be perfect in order to truly experience life and love ourselves. The genius and authenticity of this film comes largely from the director, Greta Gerwig, a prime example of how more women are getting into the film industry and utilizing their power to redirect gender stereotypes in Hollywood. When Gerwig first started to think about making her own movies, women made up less than 3% of top-grossing studio directors. Female representation in Hollywood is a pressing issue. In fact, female directors' careers are usually 2 to 3 decades shorter than males. Women are more likely than men to not receive another offer after directing a film, and unlike for men, motherhood is a topic that can drastically affect a woman's career. However, it's not too far-fetched to say that recently, real change is on the horizon. Lady Bird is the highest-grossing film of the entertainment company A24, and movies like Nikki Caro's live-action Mulan remake are on the rise. Further, powerful movie moguls like Harvey Weinstein are finally being held accountable for their wrongful actions. Hollywood's gender revolution is slowly but surely emerging. Films like Lady Bird address the issue of proper female representation in media. Women and girls alike are seeing themselves and the relationship depicted on the big screen, and not just the glorified version. It's as important for daughters and mothers to see their true relationship being represented on screen as it is for representation for minorities. In the future, there's reason to believe that more up-and-coming films will capture the true female experience and enable audiences to connect on a personal and authentic level.
I love you. Thank you. Thank you.